In this video we are going to talk about top 10 deadly creatures. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Here is a grim inquiry for you. Which creatures kill the most people consistently? Albeit Hollywood movies recommend our most noteworthy dangers incorporate sharks and rampaging primates, the deadliest animals are many times a lot more modest and bound to kill through sickness instead of extremely sharp teeth. However, which animal is Earth's main executioner? Figure out the main 10 beneath. Number 10. Sharks. While sharks are usually depicted in films and network shows as dangerous executioners, actually vastly different. Around the world, sharks represent just a few hundred assaults on people, and they simply normal 6 to 7 human passings each year. In the United States, sharks cause around 1 demise like clockwork. The species liable for the most elevated rates of deadly goes after are the incredible white shark, the bull shark, and the tiger shark. Number 9. Elephants. We ordinarily consider elephants brilliant, cordial animals, and they have been a staple of bizarre exhibitions for a long time. The explanation they perform so well is a result of their knowledge and their intricate feelings and social designs, yet their status as the biggest land creature implies that they have a gigantic measure of weight and the related power that shows up with it. Elephants in bondage are equipped for outrage and reprisal, and those in the wild can be regional and defensive of their relatives. A normal of 500 individuals each year are killed during experiences with elephants by being stomped on, tossed, squashed, and other also undesirable means. Number 8. Hippopotamuses. The hippopotamus positions third in size among the biggest land warm-blooded creatures behind the elephant and the rhinoceros, and they are answerable for around 500 deadly human experiences every year, very much like the Keep Going section on our rundown. Be that as it may, they procured a higher spot because of their standing for savagery, hostility, and their very regional nature. Hippos have even been known to go after boats for infringing upon their natural surroundings, and they can utilize their sharp teeth that grow up to 20 inches long actually. They assault by gnawing, stomping on, and will hold their enemy submerged until they suffocate. Number 7. Tsetse flies. The tsetse fly is the first of a few bugs to make our rundown of the 10 deadliest creatures on the planet. Just like the case for the bugs to come, it isn't the genuine nibble of the tsetse fly that kills people, yet the subsequent contamination that demonstrates lethal. The tsetse fly dwells in the tropical locales of Africa, and their chomp taints the host with a parasite that causes African resting disorder. African resting disorder is a truly challenging sickness to treat, particularly given the absence of clinical assets nearby. However, without therapy, the illness is deadly regardless. Because of the distance of the area and absence of confirmed data, mortality gauges range as high as 500,000, yet more dependable sources show that around 10,000 individuals pass on every year subsequent to being nibbled by the tsetse fly. Number 6. Kissing bugs. Professional killer bug is the aggregate name used to allude to more than 150 types of bugs that have a particular sort of bended proboscis. This proboscis is utilized as an instrument for protection and furthermore to chase, and the penchant of these species to focus on the delicate tissue districts around the mouths of people procured them their all the more generally known name of kissing bug. Found all through the world, most kissing bugs are no danger to people other than an unusually excruciating chomp. In any case, a few animal varieties that possess Central and South America communicate a risky sickness called Chagas illness. Indeed, even without treatment, death rates are low from Chagas sickness. However, the inescapable idea of the parasitic disease implies that even the 5% demise rate causes between 12,000 to 15,000 passings each year from organ disappointment coming about because of the parasitic contamination. Number 5. Crocodiles. The following dominant hunter passage on our rundown of the deadliest creatures on the planet is the crocodile. Liable for somewhere close to 1,000 to 5,000 passings yearly, the crocodile is one of the biggest, generally forceful, and most risky creatures on the planet. Tipping the scales at more than 2,000 pounds, crocodiles have tremendous nibble strength and can make a trip at speeds up to 25 miles per hour. Crocodiles are the sole section on this rundown that effectively chase and go after people. The deadliest species is the Nile crocodile, which lives in the districts encompassing the Nile stream, and they were so dreaded by old Egyptians that they conveyed badge of their crocodile god for assurance from the reptiles. Number 4. Freshwater snails. Shockingly enough, the following deadliest creature on our positioning is, as a matter of fact, the freshwater snail. Similar as the other less clearly undermining species that we have referenced, not the snail straightforwardly kills people yet the illness that they send. As indicated by World Health Organization gauges, a few million individuals are determined to have a parasitic disease called schistosomiasis consistently, and somewhere close to 20,000 and 200,000 of those cases are deadly. Schistosomiasis causes serious stomach agony and blood in the pee of the contaminated, yet it isn't by and large lethal beyond agricultural nations. The wide reach and potential passings is the consequence of patchy legislative detailing and the absence of clinical consideration in these distant regions and immature countries. Number 3. Dogs/wolves. Man's closest companion is additionally perhaps of our deadliest danger. Straightforwardly deadly canine and wolf experiences are extremely uncommon in contrast with the quantity of passings coming about because of canine-sent rabies diseases. We are a few hundred years eliminated from when wolf packs effectively chased people in India, causing north of 200 passings each year in the 18th and 19th hundreds of years, yet 40,000 to 50,000 passings yearly are brought about by the rabies infection alone. Once more, by far most of those passings occur beyond first world nations and are the consequence of an absence of cutting-edge clinical consideration. Rabies transmission from wolf species is a lot lower than those from canines, yet they are not zero. Number 2. Snakes. It just so happens, the anxiety towards snakes or ophidiophobia may not be so absurd, all things considered. Snakes represent more than 100,000 fatalities a year in light of moderate evaluations. An overall deficiency of neutralizer as well as the far-off areas possessed by probably the most venomous snake species all add to this high loss of life. While many individuals dread enormous snakes like boa constrictors and boa constrictors, the snake answerable for the most passings is really the saw-scaled snake, which just compares 3 feet in length. Likewise called the floor-covering snake, this snake lives in Africa, the Middle East, and India, and the females of the species are over 2 times as venomous as the guys. Beside the high passing rate, the floor-covering snake's toxin is a neurotoxin that causes a very large number of removals in those casualties that it doesn't kill through and through. Number 1. Mosquitoes. The mosquito is the single deadliest creature on the planet and furthermore, quite possibly of the littlest. Mosquitoes are assessed to cause somewhere in the range of 750,000 and 1 million human passings each year. They are a vector for some illnesses that are dangerous to humankind, including intestinal sickness, dengue fever, and the West Nile and Zika infections. Intestinal sickness alone records for over a portion of 1 million lethal diseases yearly. Just the female mosquito benefits from people with the male benefiting from nectar. A few researchers have assessed that possibly 50% of all human passings starting from the start of our species might be the consequence of diseases communicated by mosquitoes. Indeed, even without such a wild verifiable gauge, the mosquito has decidedly established its put at number 1 on our rundown of deadliest creatures with both their hostility and the passings of almost 1 million individuals each year. Fortunately, just a small bunch of the sections on this rundown are able to do immediate, purposeful assaults on people, and most of the passings brought about by others happen in provincial regions or emerging nations with restricted admittance to medical services. This intends that as quality medical care is all the more generally accessible, we can hope to see a huge decline in death rates from some of these creatures. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.